Chapter 1822. The Origin of the Mysterious Iron Secret Realm. Lin Moyu felt both pain and joy. From head to toe, inside and out, every inch of his body endured intense pain every second. This pain reached his soul and was unavoidable. Fortunately, Lin Moyu had long been accustomed to pain. Although his brows were tightly knit, he could still endure it. The red flames were formed by ancient runes, using the essence of mysterious iron as fuel, and their terrifying nature was unimaginable. Even with his full effort to drive the law of undeath and his 100% control, he could barely maintain a relative balance. He felt somewhat fortunate that he had come here after becoming a lesser god sovereign. If he had come earlier, without 100% control over the law and with the life force not as effective as it was now, he wouldn't have been able to withstand the burning of the red flames. His physical body continuously improved in strength through destruction and repair. Compared to the previous method of using iron powder for cultivation, the improvement speed was faster, but it was also more dangerous. Feeling the improvement in his physical body, Lin Moyu constantly gained insights.
For most people, using iron powder to cultivate the physical body to the 6th stage of the God-King realm is the limit. No wonder the path of body refining has declined. It is indeed too difficult. I wonder how the cultivators of ancient times refined their physical bodies. They must have had their own methods. After all, this method of forced improvement is not suitable for everyone.
Lin Moyu felt that apart from himself and cultivators who mastered the law of life, others couldn't use the red flames for body refining. The red flames were so terrifying that even god sovereigns would find them troublesome. Using the power of the Law Star River might disperse the red flames, but the physical body would be severely damaged in the process. As for lesser god sovereigns and god kings, encountering the red flames would almost certainly mean death. 10 days later, his physical body improved again, reaching the 7th stage of the God King realm. At this point, Lin Moyu found that the damage from the red flames had weakened significantly. The life force began to gain the upper hand, with the healing speed surpassing the destruction speed of the red flames. Lin Moyu had a sudden insight and withdrew some of the life force, allowing the two forces to continue maintaining balance. The physical body needed to grow through continuous destruction and repair, and the simplest way was to maintain balance. Lin Moyu continued to enjoy the pain brought by the red flames, finding joy in the pain. Sometimes, Lin Moyu felt he had a tendency towards masochism. It seemed that since he started cultivating, he had always had this problem. To become stronger, he constantly self-harmed, not knowing how many times he had voluntarily been killed. Thinking about it was heart-wrenching. 20 days later, his physical body reached the 8th stage of the God King realm. The damage from the red flames weakened again, and Lin Moyu voluntarily reduced the life force, continuing to maintain balance.
The effect of the red flames is getting weaker. I estimate that reaching the 9th stage of the God King realm is the limit. For the final step, I need to find another method.
Lin Moyu's goal was to elevate his physical body to the lesser God Sovereign realm. When he advanced to the God Sovereign realm, his physical body would also advance to the God Sovereign realm, achieving a perfect advancement. If he couldn't achieve a perfect advancement, all his efforts would be significantly diminished in meaning. His gaze turned towards the depths of the iron powder red clouds. Although he couldn't see it, he could feel that it was the center of the red clouds. There, he might find the answer. The body refining continued, and 30 days later, Lin Moyu's entire body shone with golden light. The golden light enveloped his entire body like armor. He had finally reached the 9th stage of the God King realm. At this level, his physical body was already comparable to many peak god sovereigns. After his physical body reached the 9th stage of the God King realm, the red flames completely lost their effect. Even if Lin Moyu stood in the red flames, letting them burn, they wouldn't cause any harm. Now, it had been 110 days since he entered the secret realm. He was just one step away from his goal. Relying on his intuition, Lin Moyu flew towards the depths of the red clouds. The iron powder became denser, completely blocking his vision. Even using the eye of the soul, he couldn't see anything. He could only rely on his intuition to find the direction. Fortunately, Lin Moyu often dealt with ancient runes and was very familiar with their aura. In his judgment, the existence in the depths of the red clouds should be a fragment of an ancient rune. As long as he followed the aura of the ancient rune, he wouldn't go wrong. Getting closer, the aura of the ancient rune became stronger, and Lin Moyu knew he was on the right path. The moment he emerged from the mist, Lin Moyu felt a sudden clarity. This was a space spanning tens of thousands of meters, with no iron powder and no red clouds. At its center was a star, a burning star. The entire star emitted a red light, releasing a terrifying high temperature. Standing here, even a god sovereign would be melted. A huge suction force emanated from the star, pulling Lin Moyu towards it. It was this force that formed the iron powder red clouds by drawing a circle as a prison. Lin Moyu's eyes revealed shock as he saw the essence of the star through the eye of the soul.
It's not just a star. There are other stars as well. I understand now. So this is how the mysterious iron came to be.
Lin Moyu finally understood the origin of the mysterious iron secret realm. When the ancient rune evolved the secret realm, a star happened to enter it, becoming part of the secret realm. Along with the star, other stars also entered, and one of these stars was entirely made of iron. The high temperature of the star completely refined the iron star into mysterious iron. During the refining process, the iron star exploded and some ordinary iron, the ancient rune shrank the star, retaining only its essence, making the star's temperature even more terrifying. At the same time, the ancient rune caused intense vibrations, forming the structure of the iron powder red clouds. Through the interaction between the star and the ancient rune, after countless years of evolution, the mysterious iron secret realm was finally formed. Now, the ancient rune had merged with the star, and the entire star was vibrating at an astonishing frequency. Lin Moyu couldn't imagine how terrifying this star was. Even with his physical body at the 9th stage of the God King realm, he couldn't guarantee his safety. What surprised Lin Moyu even more was that he saw a white light in the deepest part of the star.
A white dwarf star.
Lin Moyu thought of the upgraded version of an ordinary star, the rare white dwarf star. There were no white dwarf stars in the human star domain. There used to be, but because white dwarf stars were too dangerous, they were moved out of the human star domain by the god sovereigns. The star before him seemed to be transitioning into a white dwarf star. Antares had mentioned that a star was not the end. It could continue to upgrade. The direction of the upgrade was the white dwarf star. Not only had Antares said this, but it was also confirmed during a long conversation with Holy Sovereign Hao. In Lin Moyu's cultivation plan, one step was to find a white dwarf star, observe it closely, and see what it was like, providing a reference and direction for himself. Lin Moyu took a deep breath and began to approach the star. There was no iron powder here. The star's temperature was too high, and any iron powder that got close was burned to ash. The red flames were just a part of what the star scattered. When he was still 5,000 meters away from the star, Lin Moyu's God King golden body suddenly shattered, and numerous wounds appeared on his body. Lin Moyu stopped immediately, not moving. The vibration frequency of the star was too fast, causing the entire space to vibrate with it. The astonishing vibration frequency turned the space into countless sharp knives. During the approach, the body had to continuously endure the cutting of the space.
What a terrifying thing. But the more terrifying, the better, as it can enhance the physical body.
White light emerged, and the life force healed the wounds. Lin Moyu approached the star at an extremely slow speed. 1823. Chapter 1823. The God King golden body achieved. Lin Moyu's body continuously developed wounds. The terrifying cutting force brought by the extreme vibrations penetrated the space, cutting through his skin, flesh, and bones, reaching his internal organs. Not only did wounds appear on the surface, but every corner inside and outside his body also had wounds. If Lin Moyu's body weren't strong enough, it would have been shredded into pieces in an instant. The law of undeath was once again fully operational, continuously healing the injuries and maintaining balance. His body began to strengthen again. As his body strengthened, the impact of the cutting force also diminished. Lin Moyu simultaneously retracted his laws and moved closer to the star. The entire process was very slow, without any haste. Outside the Divine City Star domain, in the starry sky just 100,000 kilometers from the port star, a special warship suddenly appeared. Its appearance was abrupt, without any forewarning. It was like a big fish swimming in the deep sea, suddenly leaping out of the water. On the warship, a shell emblem was engraved. This was a warship from the Star Sky Fish People, with the shell being their symbol. A 7-colored beam of light shot out from the port star, enveloping the Star Sky Fish People's warship, guiding them. The 7-colored beam, like a ribbon, welcomed the arrival of the Star Sky Fish People. At this moment, it was not the open time for the Divine City, so the port star was very quiet, without the usual bustling scene. Holy Sovereign Tian stood on the port star, his gaze piercing through the 100,000 kilometers of starry sky, looking at the just-arrived Star Sky Fish People. Holy Sovereign Tian slowly ascended into the sky, his entire body radiating brilliant golden light, like a blazing sun. His presence was immensely majestic. The pressure of the Holy Sovereign swept out, making it difficult for people to look directly at him.
Welcome, friends from the Star Sky Fish People.
Holy Sovereign Tian's voice echoed in the starry sky. The Star Sky Fish People's warship approached, and someone flew out from the warship, laughing heartily.
Holy Sovereign Tian, long time no see. You are still as impressive as ever.
Holy Sovereign Hao also smiled.
It's been many years. Congratulations to Elder Ji on advancing another level.
Elder Ji laughed heartily.
Just a small gain, nothing much.
The warship docked at the port star, and a team of about 100 people flew out from the warship. Holy Sovereign Tian gestured with his hand.
Everyone, please follow me. We have prepared a grand feast to welcome you.
Outside the mysterious Iron Secret Realm, someone appeared in the dark starry sky. Holy Sovereign Hao closed his eyes slightly, and with a movement of his soul power, the discussions outside the secret realm entered his ears. In no time, he grasped Lin Moyu's situation.
He has been inside for nearly 200 days and hasn't come out yet. Is he still refining his body in there?
Holy Sovereign Hao was contemplating whether to notify Lin Moyu. The Star Sky Fish People had arrived, and he had previously said that Lin Moyu should attend together. But now, Lin Moyu was cultivating in the secret realm, and he couldn't go in and drag him out. After some thought, he decided to notify Lin Moyu. Body refining is not like comprehending laws. Being interrupted wouldn't be a big deal. Soon, he received Lin Moyu's reply.
Wait another half day.
Holy Sovereign Hao looked at the message and murmured to himself. He could wait for half a day. At the same time, Holy Sovereign Hao was also curious about how far Lin Moyu had progressed in his body refining after 200 days. He could see that Lin Moyu's body had reached the God King realm before, and it was in perfect condition, having activated the God King golden body. After 200 days of body refining, there must have been some progress. For others, body refining is extremely difficult, but with Lin Moyu's excellent aptitude, it should be much easier. Based on Holy Sovereign Hao's experience, Lin Moyu should be able to advance at least 2 stages. Holy Sovereign Hao waited quietly in the starry sky, unnoticed by anyone. Where he stood was like a black hole swallowing all light. Inside the secret realm, Lin Moyu had already stepped into the star's interior. The extremely terrifying flames enveloped him, trying to burn him to ashes. His body developed cracks in the flames, which were then quickly healed. At this moment, the law of undeath was down to its last bit, less than 1% of its full power. The body refining was nearing its end. After nearly 100 days of continuous burning, Lin Moyu had completely adapted to the high temperature of the star and the vibrations brought by the ancient rune. Even without using the law of undeath, he could survive here for a long time with just his physical body. Now, he was just a step away from complete adaptation. Neither the high temperature of the star nor the vibrations of the ancient rune could harm him anymore. At that moment, His body would officially step into the lesser god sovereign realm. Lin Moyu couldn't help but feel a bit excited. He was about to make history again. Since ancient times, no one in the human race had ever refined their body to the lesser god sovereign realm. At most, they relied on realm advancement to passively enhance their physical body. Lin Moyu knew very well that an actively refined body was completely different from a passively enhanced one. For him, the lesser god sovereign body was just the beginning, while for others, it was the limit. After a few more hours, his body finally fully adapted to the power here. At that moment, his body shone with golden light. Lin Moyu turned into a golden star, shining alongside the nearby star. The golden light was like a sharp sword, piercing through the iron powder red clouds and illuminating the secret realm's ground. The iron ground of the secret realm developed countless cracks, as if really cut by a sharp sword. The golden light grew stronger, and the God King golden body was truly achieved at this moment. The light not only cut through the secret realm's ground but also pierced through the secret realm. In the starry sky, 10,000 beams of golden light suddenly shone. The cultivators outside the secret realm screamed and quickly retreated. Some who didn't retreat fast enough were even cut by the golden light.
What happened? I don't know. Where did this golden light come from? This golden light is from the secret realm. Did something mutate inside? Secret realm mutation is not impossible, but the mysterious iron secret realm has always been stable. The probability of mutation is too low.
No one knew what had happened. In the distance, Holy Sovereign Hao couldn't suppress his excitement. He kept murmuring,
Golden body like a sword, golden body like a sword, this is the achievement of the God King golden body. The God King golden body achieved, my goodness, what did this kid do? How did he do it? Is he really planning to cross to the other shore alone, without taking the blood road? Perhaps he really has a chance to walk the divine path. Perhaps he really has a chance.
Holy Sovereign Hao's excitement was known only to himself. He knew what this meant. The golden light continued to shine, and within thousands of miles of the starry sky outside the secret realm, no one could approach. Inside the secret realm, Lin Moyu felt the surging power throughout his body.
So this is the power of the achieved God King golden body? It's really strong. Just relying on the power of my physical body, I can punch a lesser god sovereign to death. If it's a god sovereign, a few more punches can also kill them. I can really achieve the feat of breaking 10,000 laws with one punch.
He looked at the ancient rune within the star. His heart stirred, and he reached out to grab it. The ancient rune was right in front of him, and he couldn't miss it. Boom! The moment he grasped the ancient rune, the entire secret realm shook violently. The red clouds boiled, and a whirlwind arose within the secret realm. The ancient rune vibrated violently, with a force strong enough to instantly kill a god sovereign. Lin Moyu ignored the vibrating force and firmly grasped the ancient rune. Relying on the power of his physical body, he firmly suppressed the ancient rune. The strength of the achieved God King golden body was fully displayed at this moment. The ancient rune struggled for a moment, seemingly aware of its fate. It suddenly melted and drilled into Lin Moyu's body, making the golden light even stronger, several times stronger than before. 1824 Chapter 1824 Swear an oath or face severe punishment. A strong golden light suddenly burst out from the secret realm. It was like a star exploding, with terrifying light shooting out like swords, causing everyone to retreat in shock. The golden light came quickly and disappeared just as fast, vanishing in an instant. Everyone looked at each other, unable to understand what had happened. Immediately, figures began to appear outside the secret realm. These were the people who had previously entered the secret realm, and they looked bewildered.
Why am I out here? I was refining mysterious iron. How did I end up outside? I was still refining my body. I didn't want to come out.
They had all been suddenly ejected from the secret realm. Others didn't know what was happening, but Holy Sovereign Hao was very clear.
This kid, he cleared another secret realm.
Inside the secret realm, the ancient rune merged into Lin Moyu's body, and the golden light, several times stronger than before, almost blinded him. Fortunately, it only lasted for a second before returning to normal. Immediately, Lin Moyu felt changes in his body. His blood, bones, and internal organs began to vibrate. The ancient rune entering his body brought about a vibrating effect. The strength of his physical body hadn't changed, but it now possessed vibrating power. Lin Moyu had a sudden insight and punched forward. The space in front of him vibrated intensely, creating countless cracks. The space was nearly shattered by his punch.
The strength of my physical body has increased several times. I feel that with a full-force punch, even a god sovereign wouldn't be able to withstand it.
Lin Moyu thought to himself. With the ancient rune integrated into his body, he felt that he could crush a god sovereign with just his physical strength. He had originally intended to simply take the ancient rune, but he hadn't expected such a pleasant surprise. The exit of the secret realm appeared before him, and Lin Moyu knew that Holy Sovereign Hao was still waiting outside for him, so he immediately left the secret realm. A familiar aura greeted him, and before his vision could recover, he suddenly felt the world spinning. Lin Moyu wasn't flustered. Instead, he spoke.
Holy Sovereign, there's no need to be in such a hurry.
Holy Sovereign Hao snorted.
Do you know how much commotion you caused?
Lin Moyu didn't understand. He was just in the secret realm. How much commotion could he have caused? Although he already knew the result, Holy Sovereign Hao couldn't help but confirm it again.
Did you achieve the God King Golden Body?
Lin Moyu nodded.
Indeed, I did.
Holy Sovereign Hao sighed deeply, his tone becoming somewhat strange.
I really don't know how you did it. When you broke through just now, the light of the God King Golden Body pierced through the secret realm. Fortunately, the people outside the secret realm reacted quickly. If they had been slower, there might have been casualties. If that had happened, you wouldn't have escaped punishment.
Lin Moyu couldn't help but laugh.
Can you really blame me for that?
Holy Sovereign Hao snorted.
Rules are rules, not made just for you. Even if you have privileges, you can't use them whenever you want. All right, I'll be more careful next time.
Lin Moyu responded straightforwardly, accepting the situation. Holy Sovereign Hao continued.
The commotion you caused this time was quite significant. I've already issued a gag order. Today's events must not be spread.
Then, Holy Sovereign Hao communicated with the Human Emperor Network and said,
Did you take the ancient rune from the secret realm?
Lin Moyu nodded.
I didn't take it. It came to me on its own.
Holy Sovereign Hao nodded.
All right, that's not a problem. But you need to tell me in detail what happened inside, without missing any details. Even if you didn't say so, I would have told you.
Lin Moyu understood Holy Sovereign Hao's intentions very well. In fact, Holy Sovereign Hao wanted to know how he refined his body. If possible, he naturally hoped that the entire human race could refine their bodies. After all, his body refining method was highly efficient, even more so than comprehending laws. In just 200 days, he had achieved the God King Golden Body, a terrifying efficiency. Lin Moyu hadn't expected his body refining to be so fast, but he knew very well that his method was difficult to replicate. Even those who mastered the law of life would find it challenging. Outside the mysterious iron secret realm, the cultivators suddenly discovered that the secret realm had disappeared. It vanished right before their eyes, without a trace. At the same time, they received a message from the Human Emperor Network. Special task. Everyone must swear an oath to the great world, not to disclose what they saw and heard today. Those who swear the oath will be rewarded with 100 Divine City Merit Points. Those who do not swear the oath will be punished. Everyone present was stunned. The Human Emperor Network had actually issued such a task. Some smart individuals realized that today's events, that golden light, must be extraordinary. There must be deeper meanings that they didn't understand. It didn't matter if they didn't understand. The Human Emperor Network had already issued the task, and they had no choice. Swearing the oath would earn them 100 Divine City merit points. If they didn't swear, the punishment would likely be unbearable. Anyone with common sense knew what to choose. One by one, everyone present swore the oath, and no one tried to challenge the authority of the Human Emperor Network. Those who lived in the Divine City knew how powerful the Human Emperor Network was. Opposing it was tantamount to seeking death. Those who swore the oath quickly received their rewards, and their expressions improved significantly. At this moment, someone suddenly shouted,
"Look at the announcement."
In the Human Emperor Network, a new announcement had just appeared before all the residents of the Divine City. Divine City announcement. Intermediate personnel Lin Moyu has successfully cleared the Intermediate Secret Realm, Mysterious Iron, Secret Realm. This secret realm will be permanently closed, and related tasks will be cancelled.
He cleared it again. It seems no secret realm can stump him. He's truly powerful. How did he do it? Is clearing secret realms really that easy? Easy, my foot. How many people have died in the mysterious Iron Secret Realm? Although it's not the hardest among intermediate secret realms, it's not something you can clear just like that. You have to admit, Lin Moyu is indeed impressive. I admit it, Lin Moyu is my idol from now on. I bet on Lin Moyu clearing it, and I won double. I made money. I bet he couldn't clear it. Well, a bet is a bet.
Various voices surged in the Human Emperor Network. Lin Moyu had cleared a secret realm for the 4th time, and this time it was an intermediate secret realm, causing another huge stir in the Divine City. Everyone knew that intermediate secret realms were far more difficult than primary ones. Yet Lin Moyu still managed to clear it. Such ability was both admirable and shocking. Lin Moyu also received rewards from the Human Emperor Network. Congratulations on completing the first stage task of the Mysterious Iron Secret Realm. Reward, 100 Divine City Merit Points. Congratulations on clearing the Mysterious Iron Secret Realm. Reward, 5,000 Divine City Merit Points. The total reward reached 5,100 points, several times higher than that of primary secret realms. The Mysterious Iron Secret Realm had only one stage, and among the many intermediate secret realms, its rewards were relatively poor. If the secret realm had multiple stages, the rewards could have increased by several thousand more. Compared to the Divine City merit points, the greatest gain from this trip was still his physical body. Lin Moyu sat in the warship, drinking tea, while Holy Sovereign Hao looked at the information. Lin Moyu had already detailed the entire process of his body refining, including his insights and experiences, and handed it over to Holy Sovereign Hao. The more Holy Sovereign Hao read, the more his brows furrowed. Lin Moyu's method of body refining seemed difficult to replicate. 1825 Chapter 1825. I can even kill a god sovereign. Lin Moyu quietly brewed and drank tea, not saying a word, waiting patiently. Holy Sovereign Hao finally finished reading and sighed deeply.
No, your cultivation method, although highly efficient, is too dangerous. One careless mistake, and it's the end of the road.
Lin Moyu poured hot tea for Holy Sovereign Hao.
I've thought about this issue too. I believe you can set up a cultivation environment according to my method. Lower the difficulty a bit. Although the cultivation speed will be slower, the safety will be greatly improved. You should have noticed that my cultivation method is actually not complicated. It's just about pushing the physical body to its limits, and then rebuilding it through destruction and reconstruction. There's no big secret to it. As long as you grasp the right degree, it can be done.
Holy Sovereign Hao snorted.
Easier said than done.
His eyes showed contemplation. What Lin Moyu said was not impossible. With some arrangements, it could be achieved. Lin Moyu smiled.
It's actually not that difficult. Find some cultivators who master the law of life, or prepare more elixirs for healing physical injuries, and then find a few with good body refining aptitude. It's best to start cultivating from the transcendent realm, allowing the physical body and soul realm to improve simultaneously. This way, the effect will be the best.
Holy Sovereign Hao nodded.
I'll discuss it when I get back. If it works out, you'll be credited.
Lin Moyu was not modest at all.
All right, just don't forget me when the time comes.
Holy Sovereign Hao glanced at Lin Moyu.
Chua was right, you have a thick skin.
Lin Moyu chuckled and quickly changed the topic.
What do you need me to do for the visit of the Star Sky Fish people?
Holy Sovereign Hao said in a low voice.
This time, they are coming with 100 people. 3 elders are leading the team, along with 7 God Sovereigns and 90 young disciples, ranging from true God to lesser God Sovereign. We have matters to discuss with their elders and won't be present. We've also sent some people to show them around the Divine City. You don't need to worry about these things. Someone else will handle them. After the tour, there will be a Tao discussion as usual. Although it's called a Tao discussion, it's actually a competition, of course, between those of the same realm. Your task is to suppress them all.
Lin Moyu smiled.
What if I hit too hard and accidentally kill someone? They have God Sovereigns present. If you're not afraid of death, you can try. If you don't mind, I can even kill the God Sovereigns.
Holy Sovereign Hao didn't want to deal with him anymore.
Stop joking. Don't underestimate your task. It's very important and could affect us. Defeat their geniuses decisively. You can injure them, but don't kill them. Also, your acquaintance is coming too.
Lin Moyu responded.
You mentioned it last time.
Holy Sovereign Hao smiled.
Last time was just a guess, not a certainty.
Lin Moyu was speechless. Last time, Holy Sovereign Hao didn't say it like that. Holy Sovereign Hao said in a low voice.
I received a message from Heavenly Sovereign. The Yu Qingru you mentioned and Princess Ro who entered the Nether Swamp should be the same person.
Lin Moyu had long suspected this, as they looked identical, had the same name and the same background. However, he had a few questions that he couldn't figure out.
Their cultivation levels don't match.
Princess Ro, who entered the Nether Swamp, was a lesser God Sovereign. But the Yu Qingru he knew was only at the peak of the true God realm. The difference in their realms was significant. Holy Sovereign Hao said,
I don't know about that either. You can ask her yourself when you meet. Anyway, Heavenly Sovereign wouldn't be mistaken.
Lin Moyu nodded silently, saying no more. The warship continued to jump through space, reaching its destination in half a day. This time, the place arranged to host the Star Sky Fish people was in the intermediate region. The high-level region was the core area of the human race and wouldn't easily allow outsiders in. The low-level region would seem too disrespectful. So, the intermediate region was chosen, not too high, not too low, just right. Near Star System number 20999, a circular continent was floating in the starry sky. The entire continent was shrouded in formations, and without permission, outsiders couldn't enter. The formation was activated, making it impossible to see the situation inside from the outside. After dropping Lin Moyu off, Holy Sovereign Hao turned and left to discuss important matters with the elders of the Star Sky Fish people. The elders of the Star Sky Fish people were either at the other shore or Holy Sovereign level. Lin Moyu wasn't very familiar with the organizational structure of the Star Sky Fish people, but it didn't matter. He had no intention of joining them. He flew alone towards the specially designed continent. As he passed through the formation, Lin Moyu felt the power of the Human Emperor Network. His identity was verified by the Human Emperor Network, qualifying him to enter. Those without the qualification would receive a warning from the Human Emperor Network if they approached, telling them to leave. If they didn't listen, they would receive a warning, and if they still didn't listen, they would be punished. Clearly, Holy Sovereign Hao and the others had put a lot of effort into this exchange. There must be some secrets behind it that Lin Moyu didn't know. He had tried to ask indirectly, but Holy Sovereign Hao didn't answer directly. The summary was that it wasn't the right time yet. The continent was circular, with a diameter of exactly 10,000 kilometers, half land and half ocean. The environment was beautiful, with mountains and water, and a pleasant climate. At the intersection of land and water, wooden houses were built, with a unique style different from human houses. There were exactly 100 houses, clearly prepared for the star sky fish people. Starlight was drawn over, forming a starry sky above. The light from the stars was specially treated, making it very soft. The ocean, occupying half the space, was a clear blue, very transparent. Fish swam in the ocean, and there were quite a few of them. About 100,000 meters away from the star sky fish people's residence, there were also some houses. These houses were in the style of the human race. In the middle of these residences, there were some buildings. There were pavilions with tea tables inside, suitable for drinking tea and chatting. There were also orchards, full of various fruits that could be picked and eaten directly. Lin Moyu saw someone picking fruit to eat, a member of the star sky fish people. He didn't stop and flew directly to the human residences. There were already many people there, and he was one of the last to arrive. Lin Moyu's arrival drew everyone's attention. Someone saw Lin Moyu's information and was shocked.
It's Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu is here. It's really Lin Moyu. I didn't expect Lin Moyu to be part of our delegation. Now we're sure to win. No matter how talented the star sky fish people are, they can't beat Lin Moyu.
Lin Moyu's fame was too great. In the Divine City, who dared to say they didn't know Lin Moyu? Even if they hadn't seen him, they had at least heard of him. Suddenly, a clear voice called out,
Where's Lin Moyu? Where's Lin Moyu?
1826. Chapter 1826. Do the star sky fish people want to make a comeback? The voice sounded somewhat familiar, exaggerated, and a bit melodramatic. Lin Moyu thought for a moment and immediately recognized the owner of the voice.
He's here too.
Muttering to himself, he saw Su Qingyang leaping over. Since rescuing this guy from the nether swamp, Lin Moyu hadn't seen him. Now, with his body fully restored, Su Qingyang had truly come back to life. Su Qingyang rushed to Lin Moyu, spreading his arms wide for a hug, but Lin Moyu sidestepped, causing Su Qingyang to miss. Su Qingyang didn't mind at all and shouted loudly,
Junior brother Lin, you finally arrived.
Lin Moyu looked at him. Compared to his soul state, Su Qingyang seemed even more lively now. His exaggerated expressions and demeanor were somewhat amusing. His grandfather was Su Laozu, the current Rune Holy Sovereign. The Rune Holy Sovereign was always serious and rarely smiled. How did his descendant turn out like this? Lin Moyu cupped his hands towards everyone.
Lin Moyu greets all senior and junior brothers.
Many people were flattered and returned the greeting.
Greetings, senior brother Lin. Hello, senior brother Lin.
Lin Moyu was now a highly sought-after genius, hailed as the second war god of the human race. Many present saw him as a role model. However, there were two people who didn't seem enthusiastic. Their gazes towards Lin Moyu were somewhat unusual, with a hint of defiance and a trace of jealousy. Lin Moyu clearly felt their gazes and was puzzled, as he didn't know them. The two were brothers, looking about 80% alike, named He Xing and He Kong, both at the Lesser God Sovereign realm. The He family? Lin Moyu hadn't heard of any He family. Judging by their age, they shouldn't be very old. Those who could come here were geniuses among the younger generation. Being proud and defiant was normal for geniuses. Su Qingyang also noticed their gazes and directly glared back.
What are you looking at? Not convinced?
The two brothers glanced at Su Qingyang but didn't respond, nor did they pay him any attention. The brothers were independent and undisturbed by external factors, focusing only on their own thoughts. Such people exuded pride from their very bones. Su Qingyang's not?
Ignore them. Let me show you around and help you pick a room.
He pulled Lin Moyu along to choose a residence, explaining the current situation. There were plenty of residences and many were still vacant. Lin Moyu had no specific requirements for his residence and chose one at random. Su Qingyang then briefed Lin Moyu on the current situation between the two races. The elders of the Star Sky Fish people were already discussing important matters with the Holy Sovereigns. No one knew what they were discussing. Their purpose for coming, as Holy Sovereign Hao had mentioned, was to tour the Divine City Star Domain. Of course, they wouldn't be taken to any important places. This matter was handled by several god sovereigns, so they didn't need to worry about it. Su Qingyang brewed some tea. Although it wasn't Dao tea, it was still high-quality tea leaves. Lin Moyu was surprised that someone as lively as Su Qingyang would enjoy drinking tea. In Lin Moyu's understanding, Su Qingyang seemed more suited to drinking alcohol. Su Qingyang raised his teacup.
Junior brother Lin, no need for many words of thanks. All my gratitude is in this cup of tea. In the future, if you need anything, just let me know. I'll go through fire and water for you.
Lin Moyu laughed.
Going through fire and water, is that useful for a lesser god sovereign?
Su Qingying lau ghét hơi ti ti li.
That's the spirit. Don't get caught up in the details.
Lin Moyu naturally understood.
Senior brother Su, your body has just recovered. Why not take more time to rest?
Su Qingying rip lít.
It's not because of my ancestor. He asked me to come and meet some old friends.
Lin Moyu knew that the old friends Su Qingyang mentioned were not him but Yu Qingru. This time, the holy sovereigns likely needed the help of the Star Sky Fish people. So their attitude was extremely good, and the performance of these people seemed to influence the decisions of the holy sovereigns. The whole matter seemed shrouded in layers of mystery. Lin Moyu felt as if the holy sovereigns were setting up a grand scheme, with the Star Sky Fish people playing a crucial role. But who was this scheme targeting? Lin Moyu had no idea. Lin Moyu smiled and asked,
Have you met her yet?
Su Qingyang shook his head.
Not yet. They just arrived yesterday and are still adjusting and resting. We've been told not to disturb them. When you arrived, you must have seen the pavilions in the middle. That's the boundary. We can't go past it. I heard that tomorrow we'll set off to tour the Divine City Star Domain. They should come out then.
Su Qingyang suddenly lowered his voice.
I heard that our victory or defeat this time will influence the decisions above. It seems the Star Sky Fish people want to make a comeback, but it's not fully decided yet.
Lin Moyu didn't know where Su Qingyang got this information. It might not be true, but what if it was? Lin Moyu had a vague guess, but it was just a guess.
Senior brother Su, do you know anything else?
The Su family was the holy sovereign family that managed the observation hall and had access to a lot of information. As a direct descendant of the Su family, Su Qingyang naturally knew more than ordinary people. Su Qingyang continued.
I don't know the specifics, but I guess it might be because the Star Sky Fish people are running out of resources. So they have no choice but to make a comeback. But they are hesitant. There must be opposition within their race, so it depends on the situation.
Lin Moyu listened quietly. Su Qingyang's guess was slightly different from his own but generally similar. The Star Sky Fish people were one of the 4 source races and were not weak. Their fundamental power was spatial power. When they went into seclusion, they likely created an independent space. So the world couldn't find them. But for a race to grow and cultivate, they need a lot of resources. They might have taken a vast amount of resources with them back then, but no matter how many resources, they would eventually run out. Their desire to make a comeback was understandable. The root of their comeback lay in resources, and resources depended on territory. The great world was indeed vast, with countless star domains, but the truly resource-rich places were already occupied by various races. The places that weren't occupied were either too dangerous or resource-poor. The Star Sky Fish people naturally wouldn't choose such places. That left only one path: seizing others' territory. Seizing the territory of weak races was meaningless. The Star Sky Fish people wouldn't bother. That left only the path of seizing the territory of strong races. The Star Sky Fish people were not weak and could become a strong race, but they wouldn't be weak. Once they clashed, the outcome would be uncertain, and they would also have to worry about other races taking advantage of the situation. In this calculation, the Star Sky Fish people didn't have many choices. Lin Moyu analyzed the situation in his mind and suddenly thought of a race that was most suitable for the Star Sky Fish people. The Buddhist race. The Buddhist race occupied a large star domain, rich in resources, but their numbers were not many. The only trouble was the Buddhas and ancient Buddhas within the Buddhist race. If the Star Sky Fish people faced the Buddhist race alone, even if they won, their losses wouldn't be small. The best way was to ally with another strong race.
Could it be that the holy sovereigns also want to take action against the Buddhist race? It seems to make sense.
The more he thought about it, the more likely it seemed. But this was all based on the assumption that the Star Sky Fish people wanted to make a comeback. If they had no intention of making a comeback, these speculations were meaningless. Su Qingyang didn't think as much as Lin Moyu and said,
I heard that many geniuses from the Star Sky Fish people have come this time. It won't be easy to fight them.
1827. Chapter 1827. Don't you think it's a bit strange? Su Qingyang had a worried look on his face, as if the sky was about to fall. Lin Moyu knew his expression was exaggerated and not really the case. In his era, Su Qingyang was said to be unrivaled among those of the same realm, with extremely powerful combat strength. Although he later made a mistake and was trapped in the Nether Swamp for thousands of years, he had now recovered, and it shouldn't affect his combat power. While Lin Moyu wasn't sure of Su Qingyang's true strength, he could deduce from his soul strength that Su Qingyang was stronger than most lesser god sovereigns. He could even fight against god sovereigns. Lin Moyu ignored Su Qingyang's exaggerated behavior and asked,
What orders did you receive?
Su Qingyang looked dejected.
The ancestor gave a strict order that I cannot lose. Against others it would be fine, but if I face Princess Ro, I'm not confident.
Lin Moyu asked,
Is she that powerful?
Su Qingyang nodded.
She's really powerful. With her spatial laws, I can't even touch the hem of her skirt, let alone fight her.
Lin Moyu thought for a moment.
If she makes a move, I'll handle it.
Su Qingyang's eyes lit up with joy.
That's great, then I'll leave it to junior brother Lin.
He was not only playful but also incredibly thick-skinned. He didn't know the meaning of courtesy at all. Hearing Lin Moyu say this, he immediately pushed the responsibility onto Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu didn't mind and asked again.
What's the deal with the He Xing and He Kong brothers? I sense some hostility from them towards me.
Su Qingyang revealed a hint of disdain.
They're from the He family. They've been pampered since childhood, always surrounded by flatterers. It's just that when you suddenly appeared, the wind changed direction. Those who used to flatter them suddenly stopped and started praising you instead, so they're a bit unhappy with you. Also, recently, faith towers were built for you. Originally, those faith towers were meant for them, so they're even more displeased.
The Su family indeed had access to a wealth of information, speaking about it as if reciting from memory. In Lin Moyu's view, it was mainly because of the faith towers that had drawn their hostility. Faith power is very useful for cultivators, and the earlier one accumulates it, the better. Ordinary cultivators might not understand its importance, but those from families with inherited traditions start accumulating faith power early on. Lin Moyu sipped his tea and said leisurely,
Does senior brother Su know about the He family's situation?
Su Qingyang lauget.
How could I not know? The He family is a clan in the high-level region, quite sizable. They have a peak god sovereign in the family who is currently in seclusion, reportedly close to breaking through. Besides that, they have two high-level god sovereigns, one at the 7th stage and one at the 8th stage. The family has about 20,000 members and manages a star system with abundant resources. They have high hopes for the He Xing and He Kong brothers and have invested a lot to set up faith towers for them. It was all settled, but at the last moment, the location they had decided on was taken by you.
Although the human territory is vast, most of the faith towers are occupied by other shore and holy sovereign experts. To build faith towers in the available areas, one must apply and get approval. The whole process is quite complex and requires paying a certain price. After waiting for so long, they were cut off by Lin Moyu and now have to wait again, so naturally they're unhappy.
So that's what happened.
Lin Moyu revealed a slight smile, not taking such small matters to heart at all. Not just him, even Su Qingyang didn't take those too seriously. Lin Moyu then asked about the situation of the Star Sky Fish people visiting this time, but Su Qingyang wasn't very clear on this. He hadn't had any contact with them yet. But this didn't stump Lin Moyu. He looked towards the direction where the Star Sky Fish people were staying. A skeleton appeared beside him, and the undead vision was activated. In an instant, numerous soul flames appeared clearly in his vision. Through the strength of the soul flames, Lin Moyu could roughly analyze their strengths.
There are 97 people in total, 7 God Sovereigns, 3 high-level God Sovereigns, 4 5th-stage God Sovereigns, 10 lesser God Sovereigns, 20 God Kings, 30 true gods, and 30 transcendent gods. Each one is quite impressive, all considered geniuses.
Lin Moyu said softly. This time it was Su Qingyang who was stunned, wondering how Lin Moyu knew so clearly. Among these soul flames, Lin Moyu saw a familiar person, Yu Qingru. Yu Qingru's soul was far stronger than others. At first glance, Lin Moyu thought he had seen a god sovereign. After looking through once, Lin Moyu withdrew his gaze. Su Qingyang's eyes lit up.
Junior brother Lin, how did you see all that?
Lin Moyu naturally wouldn't tell him and just smiled.
The people on our side correspond one-to-one with them.
Su Qingyang note that?
Yes, the numbers correspond one-to-one, and so do the realms. It's all about comparing combat power. Junior brother Lin, we're counting on you when the time comes.
Lin Moyu smiled slightly.
I'll do my best.
The next day, the circular continent finally activated. Space distorted, and the continent suddenly plunged into space, disappearing from sight. At this moment, everyone heard an authoritative voice.
Everyone, gather at the pavilion.
It was an order from a god sovereign, and no one dared to be negligent. They all flew towards the pavilion. Su Qingyang unhurriedly put away the tea set and smiled.
Junior brother Lin, let's go too. Let's see the wonderful sights of our human star domain.
The two flew to the pavilion. By now, the area around the pavilion was already full of people. In the sky, 7 human god sovereigns stood with impressive bearing. On the ground, a group of geniuses stood steadily, their eyes filled with intense fighting spirit. They knew the purpose of their trip, and each was eager to get started. The Star Sky Fish people hadn't arrived yet, and the other side was still empty. A god sovereign waved his hand, and starting from the pavilion, a long row of tables and chairs appeared. The tables were filled with a dazzling array of delicacies, all human cuisine from various star domains. There were also countless fruits that looked fresh and delicious. Besides these, there was wine and tea on the tables, available for anyone to choose. After waiting for a while, huge waves suddenly rose from the sea surface, coming directly to the shore and turning into a giant hand. Then figures appeared on the giant hand, which carried them over. Light flew up from their bodies into the sky, then transformed into starlight and fell back down. The whole scene was as if they had arrived accompanied by starlight. The Star Sky Fish people are most familiar with water and starlight. But this scene, in the eyes of the humans, was somewhat uncomfortable. Su Qingyang said softly,
They're putting on airs, aren't they? Quite arrogant.
Lin Moyu replied in a low voice,
They're guests from afar. If they like to show off, let them. It's not like we'll lose anything.
Su Qingyang snort.
You're right. This great one is magnanimous and won't quibble over it.
Lin Moyu's gaze penetrated through the falling stars, seeing the various geniuses of the Star Sky Fish people. 7 god sovereigns stood at the front, followed by lesser god sovereigns, then god kings, true gods, and transcendent gods. This showed that the Star Sky Fish people's hierarchy was equally strict. Behind the 7 god sovereigns, Lin Moyu saw Yu Qingru.
She really has reached lesser god sovereign.
Lin Moyu felt curious. Previously she was at the peak of true god. How did she suddenly become a lesser god sovereign? Could her cultivation speed be as fast as his own? Su Qingyang said in a low voice,
Behind the 7 god sovereigns, the one wearing the silver feather long dress is Princess Ro. Look, isn't she beautiful, peerlessly elegant?
Lin Moyu said softly.
Don't you think it's a bit strange?
1828. Chapter 1828. Meeting Yu Qingru again. The 7 god sovereigns of the human race had already gone up to greet the members of the Star Sky Fish People. The god sovereigns appeared very courteous, but they still maintained the inherent pride of the human race. Their conversation was neither humble nor arrogant, just without putting on airs. From their attitude, Lin Moyu could analyze the human race's stance towards the Star Sky Fish People. They couldn't appear weak, but they also couldn't be overly domineering. The relationship between the two sides should be one of friendly cooperation, with trust levels not yet high and still needing time to build. Su Qingyang's puzzled voice came to Lin Moyu's ears.
What's strange?
Lin Moyu explained in a low voice.
You were trapped in the nether swamp for over 1,000 years, but she wasn't trapped there. Why hasn't her cultivation level progressed at all in these 1,000 years?
Su Qingyang's eyes suddenly lit up, and he instinctively said,
Yeah, why hasn't her cultivation level progressed? And I find it strange how she escaped back then. Even if she mastered the nether law, it would have been extremely difficult to escape.
Lin Moyu said softly.
She must have paid some price.
Lin Moyu naturally knew how Yu Qingru escaped the nether swamp. She must have paid a price, but only she knew the specifics. Thinking back, Yu Qingru later went to the Vermilion Bird battlefield, seemingly searching for something. Lin Moyu felt a gaze fall upon him. Looking up, he saw that the gaze belonged to Yu Qingru. Their eyes met, and Lin Moyu smiled slightly, sending a soul message.
Long time no see.
Yu Qingru's clear and beautiful voice echoed in his soul.
Long time no see. I didn't expect you to become a lesser god sovereign.
Lin Moyu smiled.
You also became a lesser god sovereign. I'm different.
Yu Qingru's gaze suddenly became complicated, as if she wanted to say something but stopped. Lin Moyu smiled slightly and didn't press further. Having interacted with Yu Qingru before, he knew her personality well. This brief exchange still matched his previous impression of her. Su Qingyang's excited voice sounded in his ear.
Princess Ro is looking at me. Does she still remember me?
Su Qingyang looked somewhat infatuated. Back in the nether swamp, Lin Moyu had already noticed that this guy seemed to have feelings for Princess Ro. Lin Moyu said,
Why don't you ask her yourself?
At this moment, the voice of a god sovereign rang out again.
We are about to reach the first wonder, the rising sun of the Star Sea. Everyone, please take your seats, enjoy the food and wine, and appreciate the wonder.
One of their tasks was to interact with the Star Sky Fish People, fostering mutual understanding and building relationships. Everyone present was a genius from various prominent families. In the future, they might become high-ranking members of both races. Building good relationships in advance would benefit both races in the future. The long table, over 100 meters long, was filled with exquisite food. The food looked incredibly tempting. Everyone took their seats, and the atmosphere became more relaxed. Transcendent gods and lesser god sovereigns could sit together, something that wouldn't normally happen. The transcendent gods and true gods had visibly excited expressions. Lin Moyu casually chose a seat, and in front of him sat a lesser god sovereign from the Star Sky Fish People. Lin Moyu smiled as a greeting. As for the god sovereigns, they moved to another place, seemingly to discuss something. With the god sovereigns gone, the young people from both races became more at ease. After all, they were all young and quickly became familiar with each other. The Star Sky Fish People and the human race looked about 90% similar in appearance. Their aesthetics were also very close. The geniuses sent by the human race this time were all handsome men and beautiful women. As the atmosphere warmed up, relationships naturally grew closer. Yu Qingru, dressed in a silver long dress and with a tall figure, walked over and sat opposite Lin Moyu. She smiled brightly, like a blooming flower.
Do you have time? Let's chat.
Lin Moyu readily agreed.
Sure.
Before he could get up, Su Qingyang rushed over with a smile.
Princess Ro, long time no see.
Yuqingru looked at Su Qingyang with a hint of confusion.
Who are you?
Su Qingyang immediately said,
I'm Su Qingyang. We went to the Nether Swamp together back then.
Yuqingru's eyes flickered.
I know about the Nether Swamp, but I don't remember what happened back then. Sorry.
What? Yuqingru's response left Su Qingyang stunned. She had actually forgotten about the events of that time. He seemed a bit unwilling and immediately asked,
Princess Ro, do you remember how you escaped back then?
Yuqingru shook her head.
I don't remember.
She then gave Lin Moyu a look, and he slowly stood up.
Let's go.
The two left the crowd and walked towards the coast. Su Qingyang stood in place for a few seconds, watching their departing figures. He communicated with the Human Emperor Network.
Ancestor, Yuqingru doesn't remember the events of the Nether Swamp.
As he sent the message, Su Qingyang's gaze became sharp, a stark contrast to his earlier playful demeanor. Lin Moyu and Yuqingru reached the coast, listening to the sound of the waves. Yuqingru slowly spoke.
I didn't expect to see you here. Your cultivation speed is astonishing.
Lin Moyu smiled.
You too. When I last saw you, you were at the peak of the true god realm. Now you're a lesser god sovereign.
Yuqingru's smile faded, and she became cold. She gently shook her head.
I'm different. I just recovered my previous cultivation level.
Lin Moyu sensed the change in Yuqingru.
This is the real you. The earlier you was just an act.
Yuqingru's aura grew colder.
I don't like interacting with too many people, especially when it's meaningless. But my status requires me to participate. I understand.
Lin Moyu chuckled, fully grasping the meaning behind her words. Yuqingru looked Lin Moyu up and down.
I'm curious about what you've experienced over the years. Why have you cultivated so quickly?
Lin Moyu laughed.
I've been through a lot. I have good talent, so my cultivation speed is fast.
Yuqingru rolled her eyes at him.
Your skin has thickened since before.
Lin Moyu didn't respond.
I'm also curious. What were you looking for in the Vermilion Bird battlefield?
Yuqingru said softly.
So you noticed. I was looking for my lost cultivation level.
Lin Moyu was puzzled.
Lost cultivation level?
Yuqingru stretched lazily, revealing her beautiful figure.
It's a secret technique of ours. It's no harm telling you. When we encounter danger, we can use the secret technique to reincarnate once. The soul and body can return to the ancestral land and be reborn. But reincarnation can't take the cultivation level with it. The cultivation level doesn't just disappear, it stays somewhere in a special form. Now you understand.
Lin Moyu nodded. How could he not understand? She must have been severely injured when she escaped the Nether Swamp and then used the secret technique to reincarnate. After being reborn, she cultivated back to the peak of the true god realm and then returned to find her lost cultivation level. Lin Moyu asked,
Do you lose your memory during reincarnation?
Yuqingru sighed.
Usually not, but I had an accident and lost my memory. But it's fine, it's like living a new life. You have a positive outlook.
A flash of light appeared, and Lin Moyu held a jade box in his hand. 1829. Chapter 1829. Skyscrapers, cars, traffic lights. Seeing the jade box in Lin Moyu's hand, Yuqingru's breath suddenly caught. Her gaze never left the jade box as she asked,
Is this what you obtained from the Nether Swamp?
Lin Moyu casually handed the jade box over.
It should be your item, right?
Yuqingru took the jade box.
After my reincarnation, the elders in my clan told me about what happened before my reincarnation. I know I had a magical treasure that was lost in the Nether Swamp.
As she spoke, her jade-white hand gently caressed the jade box. Her movements were gentle, as if caressing her most beloved possession. After all, it was once her most important magical treasure. Even though she had reincarnated, that familiar feeling was hard to erase. Yuqingru opened the box, An exquisite small sword flew out like lightning, stabbing towards Yuqing-Gru. Yuqing-Gru didn't dodge, allowing the small sword to approach. When the small sword was just a finger's width from her brow, it suddenly stopped. Then the small sword emitted a joyful sword hum, circling around Yuqing-Gru like a child reunited with family. The small sword would occasionally stop and press against Yuqing-Ru's beautiful face, appearing extremely intimate. Yuqing-Gru said,
"Although I've lost my previous memories, I'm certain this small sword is my magical treasure."
At this moment, another silver sword appeared in Yuqing-Ru's hand. The two swords emitted soft hums, as if greeting each other. Both swords possessed rudimentary intelligence. Although not high level, they were still rare treasures. Yuqing-Gru put the small sword back in the jade box. Then the jade box turned into a stream of light and entered Yuqing-Ru's body. After reincarnation, she was still the master of the magical treasure and didn't need to refine and claim ownership again. Lin Moyu smiled.
"I found it in the nether swamp, and now it's returned to its rightful owner."
Yuqing-Gru said softly,
"Thank you."
Without pretense, just a simple thank you. Yuqing-Gru wouldn't say grandiose words. A thank you was enough. Lin Moyu asked,
"You should be able to advance to God's sovereign now, right? Why are you still suppressing your realm?"
He had already seen through his soul eye that Yuqing-Ru's soul was exceptionally strong. It was even stronger than the souls of some newly advanced god sovereigns. It might be related to her reincarnation and second cultivation. Yuqing-Gru already met the conditions to advance to god sovereign, but clearly, she was deliberately suppressing her realm and hadn't advanced to god sovereign. Yuqing-Gru didn't conceal anything.
"I still have one technique that hasn't evolved into a star. If I advance to God's sovereign now, it would be harmful rather than beneficial for the future. One of the reasons for coming to your human race this time is to ask for a 6-colored spirit fire. However, 6-colored spirit fire is too rare, and I don't know if you're human race."
Before she finished speaking, her eyes suddenly widened. In Lin Moyu's palm was a fire-resistant box. The box opened, revealing a spirit fire flickering and jumping inside. 7 colors of light intertwined, reflecting on Yuqing-Ru's beautiful face.
7-colored spirit fire.
Yuqing-Gru was completely stunned. She had originally wanted a 6-colored spirit fire, but Lin Moyu casually produced a 7-colored spirit fire. 7-colored spirit fire only appeared in legends, and she had never dared to hope for one. She wasn't even sure if it really existed. Just as she was about to say something, suddenly a dazzling beam of light shot out from the distant pavilion, reaching the sky. The formation covering the continent was activated, and the originally dim and hazy sky suddenly became clear. The scene in the divine city starry sky passed through the formation, entering everyone's vision. In the dim starry sky, a wondrous scene was unfolding. In the dim starry sky, countless stars twinkled. These stars were not real stars, but fragments of stars. However, there were so many that they had to be counted in billions or trillions. In the distance were 4 suns, positioned right around the star fragments. Of the 4 suns, 2 emitted blue light, while the other 2 emitted red light. The lights intertwined, causing billions of star fragments to simultaneously reflect light. The lights interwove, forming wave-like undulations similar to ocean waves. The light undulated like ocean waves, alternating between blue and red, appearing very dreamlike. Waves of rule aura came from the dreamlike world, instantly sweeping across a vast expanse of starry sky. The scene became even more dreamlike, with rules and light fusing together, actually generating another starry sky. The starry sky within the light was like an independent small world. Inside, people were singing and dancing, like a mirage in the starry sky. That world was equally brilliant and beautiful. Soon, a great sun rose from the independent small world. The small world was illuminated and awakened. Rows of tall buildings appeared, neatly arranged and staggered. Between the tall buildings were roads, with pedestrians and rectangular objects moving quickly. When they saw this scene, everyone was stunned.
"What kind of buildings are these? Why do they look like this?" I've never seen anything like it. They're square and seem to be made of metal. Why are there so many pieces of glass on the outside of the walls? It looks quite pretty. What are those things running on the roads? They're square and look like iron boxes. The clothes those people are wearing are so strange.
Even many people from the human race hadn't seen such scenes before and showed surprised expressions. Not to mention the star sky fish people who couldn't understand at all. In their view, cultivators could all fly. But in this projected small world, the people were all just walking. And their clothing and appearance were completely different from the great world. At this moment, a god-sovereign's voice sounded,
This is the rising sun of the star sea, one of the wonders of our human race.
So-called wonders don't refer to how beautiful something is. Rather, it refers to something never seen before, beyond one's knowledge system, that can make people feel surprised. This is a wonder. Lin Moyu was also very surprised at this moment, even somewhat shocked. The light of the seven-colored spirit fire reflected on his face, magnifying his shock. Yuchingru asked,
Is this your first time seeing it too?
Lin Moyu just made an sound. His gaze was fixed on the so-called rising sun of the star sea. In the world of the rising sun of the star sea, a great sun was rising into the sky. How could this be his first time seeing it? He had seen it countless times. This was the world he lived in during his previous life, the world called China. Familiar skyscrapers, familiar pedestrians and cars, familiar roads, familiar traffic lights. He kept murmuring in his heart.
How is this possible? What's going on?
He had once thought that the world of his previous life as Zhao Hao was just a small world within the great world. Later, after entering the great world and continuously increasing his strength, he realized his idea was wrong. The world of his previous life was not some small world. The two had completely different systems. Under the coverage of runes in the great world, such a small world would not appear. This was a world of laws and runes with its own operating rules. There might be deviations, but not such large deviations. The two worlds should have no connection, but thinking of the primordial runes, those most ancient primordial characters, they seemed to have some connection to his previous life. Lin Moyu couldn't figure it out, and later simply stopped thinking about it. He believed that as long as he became strong enough, he would be able to understand all these things. Unexpectedly, today in the so-called rising sun of the star sea wonder, he saw the world of his previous life again. His whole mind was stunned. How could he not be shocked? Yuchingru seemed to sense Lin Moyu's abnormality and asked in a gentle tone with concern,
Are you all right?
1830. Chapter 1830. Living in seclusion is actually not safe. Lin Moyu struggled to suppress the turmoil in his heart, responding in an extremely calm tone.
It's nothing.
His voice carried a hint of hoarseness. Though his tone seemed calm, inside he was in complete upheaval. For some reason, Yuchingru felt her heart tighten, with an indescribable feeling. She could tell that Lin Moyu had something on his mind, but wasn't saying it. Yuchingru very much wanted to say, If there's anything, you can tell me. But in the end, she held back. What right did she have? At most, she was just Lin Moyu's friend, and not even from the same race, so this friendship came with a discount. Finally, Lin Moyu withdrew his gaze. His aura completely calmed down as he muttered to himself,
The rising sun of the star sea. It's quite nice indeed.
Countless stars formed the sea, for suns in 4 directions, interweaving with unique natural laws to create a peculiar scene. These scenes seemed real yet illusory, as if allowing one to glimpse another strange world. The specific reason was unclear to everyone. After all, it was just images. Many people thought this might be the projection of some small world still in a closed state, manifesting as a mirage in the starry sea. But those with high realms knew very clearly that this was not the case. As for what was really going on, only a very few people knew. The rising sun of the star sea lasted for about 10 minutes before ending. The continent continued on its journey, flying towards the next scenic spot. The divine city star domain was vast. Even just the intermediate region far exceeded the Star Sky Fish people's territory. By now, everyone had become familiar with each other, chatting away and also learning a lot of information about the Star Sky Fish people. This information wasn't confidential, and the Holy Sovereigns wouldn't interfere. The place where the Star Sky Fish people lived in seclusion wasn't very large. According to their description, it was only about 1 light-year in diameter. For a powerful race, a territory of 1 light-year was really too small. Taking the human race as an example, the 4 major star domains protecting the Divine City star domain span tens of thousands of light-years. Compared to tens of thousands, 1 light-year was far too small. The other powerful races might have smaller territories than humans, but not by much. Even the Buddhist race occupied a star domain of over 10,000 light-years. Lin Moyu gazed out at the sea and asked,
"Are you planning to end your seclusion?"
Yuqin Gru didn't conceal anything.
Yes, the elders do have that intention, but it's not certain yet. Is it because you're running out of cultivation resources?
Lin Moyu continued to ask. Yuqin Gru shook her head.
We still have enough resources for now. It's just that we've been separated from the great world for too long. But coming out of seclusion is just one of many options. We have other choices too. Actually, the elders' opinions aren't unified. Some elders think we don't need to come out, that we're fine as we are now.
As a princess of the Star Sky Fish people who had mastered spatial laws, Yuqin Gru held a high position in her clan. She knew a lot of information, but Lin Moyu hadn't expected to get any secrets from her. Lin Moyu sighed lightly.
Indeed, your concerns aren't wrong. The great world is too cruel. Sometimes I also wonder why I came from the small world to the great world. Living in a small world isn't bad either. Living a peaceful life, having children, passing on bloodlines. Why bother coming to the great world to take risks?
Yuqingru's eyes flashed with a lively light.
So you came from a small world too. Then we're similar.
She seemed to have found something in common with Lin Moyu and looked a bit happy. The Star Sky Fish people's place of seclusion could also be considered a small world. Yuqin Gru asked curiously,
So what reason ultimately made you choose to stay in the great world?
Lin Moyu continued,
There are many reasons. The most important one is that I want to control my own destiny. A small world seems safe, but is actually more dangerous. Perhaps just the aftershocks of a battle between holy sovereigns would be enough to destroy an entire small world. When that kind of thing happens, if I don't have power, how can I protect myself and my family?
Yuqin Gru agreed with Lin Moyu's view.
Indeed, living in seclusion may seem carefree, but actually doesn't provide much ability to resist risks. It's like fish in a river. One day a bigger fish might come from the sea and eat them.
Hearing Yuqingru's words, many speculations suddenly arose in Lin Moyu's mind. He realized that something must have happened within the Star Sky Fish People clan, forcing them to make the decision to come out of seclusion. What exactly happened, he wouldn't ask, and Yuqin Gru wouldn't say even if he did. But from this, Lin Moyu could be certain that the Star Sky Fish People's return was almost a foregone conclusion. If he could figure this out, those cunning holy sovereigns must have seen it clearly too. The holy sovereigns and fish people elders were discussing, actually negotiating. Everyone was bargaining for their own interests. What they needed to do was demonstrate the strength of the human younger generation to increase their bargaining chips. At the same time, they also had to give the fish people some face. Both sides had to get through this. They needed to win, but not win too decisively. Energy fluctuations came from nearby as the aura of God's sovereigns rose. To Lin Moyu and Yuqin Gru, this aura was like a gentle breeze. They both turned to look and saw two people sparring about 10,000 meters away from the banquet. Both were peak God sovereigns, both geniuses who could fight above their level. This was the first clash between the young geniuses of the Star Sky Fish people and humans. Many people were watching from the sidelines. They all looked somewhat excited.
Looks like these young people can't wait anymore.
Lin Moyu chuckled. Yuqin Gru glanced at Lin Moyu and said softly,
They're older than you.
Lin Moyu was slightly stunned. How did Yu Qingru know his age? He had hidden his age information from the Human Emperor network, and Yu Qingru shouldn't be able to see that information anyway. Yu Qingru laughed lightly.
I was born with awakened spatial power. Space is like my hand without touching. I can see your bone age. It's not very accurate, but I can roughly tell that you're probably not even 100 years old yet.
Lin Moyu suddenly understood.
Space is like your hand. I didn't know spatial laws could be used like that.
Yu Qingru didn't dwell on this topic. She smiled brightly.
Let's go, young genius. Let's go watch the battle too.
Yu Qingru's face gradually lit up with a smile, sweeping away her previous coldness. This was the image she deliberately presented to others, different from her true personality. Lin Moyu knew this was also specifically instructed by the elders of her clan. This exchange between the two races was very important, so Yu Qingru couldn't be too aloof, as that would easily offend people. 1831. Chapter 1831. The princess can also marry outside. The fundamental power of the Starry Sky Fishmen is the power of space. This does not mean that they cannot use other powers. In reality, within the Starry Sky Fishmen, only those with royal blood have the chance to awaken spatial talents and comprehend the laws of space. Even then, the number of those who can truly comprehend the laws of space is not many. Individuals like Yu Qingru, who are born with spatial power, are even rarer. Apart from spatial power, the Starry Sky Fishmen are most adept at water laws, as their name suggests. Yu Qingru calmly said.
Who do you think will win?
Lin Moyu pondered for a few seconds.
From the perspective of laws, the killing law has an advantage, but you have a bonus with water laws, so it evens out. With both sides at the same realm and similar strength, it will most likely end in a draw.
Lin Moyu added in his heart.
If it were a life and death battle, the human race would survive.
Yu Qingru smiled.
Ending the first match in a draw is indeed a good result.
After a bout, both sides stopped with no clear winner. Ending in a draw without hurting the harmony is a perfect start. The gods watching were also very satisfied. This time, the humans and the Starry Sky Fishmen were cooperating, not suppressing each other. Of course, having a slight upper hand is still necessary. This balance is not easy to grasp, but it seems these youngsters are doing well. A sparring match acted like a seasoning, making the atmosphere even more lively. In friendly exchanges, these young people found many common languages. They discovered that they had many similar habits. Moreover, their similar appearances brought them closer. After the sparring, the two picked up their drinks and started drinking heavily, as if to compete in alcohol tolerance. Soon, the second match began. Again, it was two young people at the peak of the super god realm. In fact, this exchange had no specific rules. Whether to spar or not was up to the individuals. However, both races had received instructions from their elders and knew what to do. This time, the human genius wielded fire laws, with flames burning fiercely. The Starry Sky Fishman genius still used water laws. The two laws restrained each other, and it was a matter of who was stronger. This battle was more intense, with the two fighting from the ground to the sky, flames roaring, and waves surging, neither giving way. The two displayed great combat power, fighting at the true god level with their super god peak realms. The gods watching were all satisfied.
Your human race has many young talents. The Starry Sky Fishmen are not inferior. The younger generation is equally impressive. Watching these youngsters makes us feel old. I heard your human race has a young one named Lin Moyu, who is listed as the top must-kill target by various races. Is he here? Yes, he's right there, next to Princess Ro.
Lin Moyu felt several gazes on him and looked over to see several gods looking at him. He smiled politely and then shifted his attention. Yu Qingru smiled beside him.
They are talking about you.
Lin Moyu nodded.
Maybe about you too.
Yu Qingru said.
You are very famous now, and many races want to kill you.
Lin Moyu smiled confidently.
They won't have the chance.
Yu Qingru smiled continuously but did not continue the topic. She walked gracefully to the table and picked up a piece of fresh fruit. Lin Moyu did not recognize the fruit, but Yu Qingru had already eaten several pieces, indicating it tasted good. Yu Qingru savored the fruit, squinting her eyes slightly, showing an expression of enjoyment.
This fruit tastes really good. We don't have such good fruit there.
Lin Moyu smiled.
Then you can stay here. There are many delicacies in the human race.
Yu Qingru raised her eyebrows slightly.
Can I take this as an invitation? Of course.
Yu Qingru laughed happily. However, Lin Moyu couldn't tell if Yu Qingru was genuinely happy or pretending. Usually, she was too cold, rarely showing a smile. At this moment, Lin Moyu felt a sharp, unfriendly gaze. The owner of the gaze was a young god of the starry sky fishmen, handsome, tall, and wearing silver armor, looking very heroic. His gaze contained a warning. Lin Moyu chuckled, understanding the meaning but not caring. Would a lion care about an ant's warning?
Princess Ro, that person seems to have an issue with me.
Lin Moyu said. Yu Qingru followed Lin Moyu's direction and saw the young god.
His name is Yuge. He once proposed to me but was rejected. His grandfather is an elder in the clan, with some power.
Lin Moyu smiled.
It seems he hasn't given up.
Yu Qingru sighed, looking a bit helpless.
We are of the same clan and both of royal blood, so I can't kill him. However, he knows he can't force me, as I am a princess and have a higher status than him.
Lin Moyu suddenly thought of Luoshin and asked,
I've heard a beautiful love story. I want to ask, can a princess like you really not marry outside?
Yu Qingru smiled.
You mean the story of Princess Luoshin, right? Smart.
Lin Moyu sincerely praised. He had just mentioned it casually, and Yu Qingru understood. Yu Qingru thought for a moment.
That was a special period in our clan. At that time, due to an accident, the royal elders passed away, leaving the clan leaderless. Princess Yuluo, Luoshin's mother, was one of the few who controlled spatial power. Her existence was extremely important, so she couldn't marry outside. You know the rest. Princess Yuluo returned with Princess Luoshin. Although Princess Luoshin had half-human blood, she also awakened spatial power, and even stronger. Princess Luoshin helped us through the most difficult period. Later, more of us awakened spatial power, and the crisis was resolved. But soon after, Princess Luoshin left and disappeared.
Yu Qingru told the whole story in a very pleasant voice. After listening, Lin Moyu said,
So, there is no strict rule that a princess cannot marry outside.
Yu Qingru nodded.
Indeed, there is no strict rule, but apart from Princess Yuluo, no princess has married outside.
Lin Moyu smiled and did not continue to ask. In the sky there was a roar, and the second match finally had a result. Water and fire were incompatible, but the two were evenly matched, ending in a draw again. 2 consecutive draws were indeed surprising, but it also made people feel a sense of mutual admiration. Soon the third match began. The third match was still at the super god level. It seemed everyone had a tacit understanding to start with the super god level and gradually increase the level. Otherwise, if the god kings started, the super god level would be overshadowed. Since they were here, everyone should have a chance to show their skills. Time passed unknowingly. This special continent flew through the starry sky, showing everyone the beautiful human star systems and wonderful scenery. The sparring continued in a lively atmosphere. 1832. Chapter 1832. I want to challenge them all. In sparring, there are wins and losses, but the outcome is no longer important. Now, everyone just wants to have a good fight. After the super god realm battles, the true gods began to take action. They were eager to fight, each finding their own opponent, making the battles even more exciting. Through these sparring matches, the relationships between the participants improved significantly. Lin Moyu smiled and said,
In our human race, there's a saying, no fight, no acquaintance. It seems to be true.
Yu Qingru smiled and replied,
That makes a lot of sense.
Lin Moyu asked.
After the true God realm battles, it will be the God King's turn, and then the minor gods. Have you found your opponent?
Yuqingru shook her head.
I won't be fighting.
Lin Moyu laughed.
Do you think no one here is worthy of fighting you?
Yuqingru looked at Lin Moyu with gentle eyes.
No, if I were to fight, my opponent would be you. But I don't want to fight you. Why? No reason, I just don't want to fight you.
Lin Moyu knew he wouldn't get an answer, so he didn't press further. A girl's thoughts, whether from the human race or the starry sky fishmen, are always hard to guess. Yuqingru smiled.
But I know you will definitely fight. Someone will come looking for you.
Lin Moyu naturally knew who she was referring to. Yuji's warnings had appeared more than once. He had always ignored them. He had been with Yuqingru these past few days, and Yuji's gaze had become increasingly sharp, as if he wanted to kill someone. Lin Moyu sighed softly.
I hope he doesn't go too far, or I might not be able to hold back. It's okay, just don't kill him.
Yuqingru said nonchalantly, standing up slowly.
I'll be leaving for a while.
After speaking, she turned and left, returning to her residence and disappearing from sight. Lin Moyu quietly watched the sparring, leisurely drinking the wine on the table. At this moment, Su Qingyang, who hadn't appeared for several days, silently approached and whispered,
Brother Lin, I didn't expect you to know Princess Ro.
Lin Moyu replied.
We met once on the Vermilion Bird battlefield.
Su Qingyang clicked his tongue.
Just one meeting and you can talk like this. I think Princess Ro has some interest in you. Why don't you try to marry her?
Lin Moyu glanced at him, not wanting to respond. At this moment, another person approached. It was Yugu. Previously, with Yuqingru present, he hadn't come over. Now that she had left, he couldn't wait to approach. Yugu stared at Lin Moyu with sharp eyes.
Your name is Lin Moyu, right? I'm Yugu, and I want to spar with you.
Lin Moyu smiled slightly.
Sure, but let me warn you. I don't know how to hold back, so you might get hurt.
Yuji's expression changed slightly. Lin Moyu's words made him feel belittled. He gritted his teeth.
I don't hold back either.
Lin Moyu didn't care.
No problem. If you can hurt me, it's your skill.
Yugu gritted his teeth.
Fine, let's see who is stronger.
He left, and Su Qingyang curiously said,
I feel like that guy has a grudge against you.
Lin Moyu took a sip of his drink.
Who knows?
He connected to the Human Emperor network and directly contacted Saint Hao, explaining the situation with Yugu. A few minutes later, he received a reply from Saint Hao. Saint Hao's original words.
Just don't kill him, and win decisively.
From this sentence, Lin Moyu sensed a different meaning. It was clear that the discussions and negotiations on Saint Hao's side were not going smoothly. They needed some effort from this side.
Su Qingjing Su Denli Frau Wen.
I just received a message from the ancestor, asking us to put in more effort and not hold back.
Lin Moyu said,
Go ask others if they received similar messages. Okay.
Su Qingyang immediately went to inquire. Su Qingyang was approachable. Although he was a minor god, he could mingle with those in the super god realm, calling them brothers. In the past few days, he had become familiar with almost everyone. After some inquiries, Su Qingyang said,
Only the 10 of us minor gods received the message. The content is the same, asking us not to hold back.
Lin Moyu confirmed his suspicion.
It seems the progress on Saint Hao's side is not going well. However, the performance of the super gods, true gods, and god kings doesn't affect them much. The performance of the minor gods will have an impact.
Su Qingyang was not stupid and immediately understood Lin Moyu's meaning.
Then let's have a good fight. No more playing around.
Lin Moyu thought for a moment.
I'll ask again.
He sent another message to Saint Hao.
If I challenge all their minor gods alone, will it have a better effect?
This time, it took 10 minutes to receive a reply from Saint Hao. The reply was just 2 words.
Go ahead.
Lin Moyu smiled, knowing what to do next. Su Qingyang noticed Lin Moyu's expression.
What are you planning to do?
Lin Moyu did not answer, making Su Qingyang itch with curiosity, muttering,
You're just like those old guys in the family, always being mysterious.
Half a day later, Yu Qingru returned. She had changed her clothes, from a silver long dress to a pink light armor. The light pink color made her look even more radiant. The close-fitting light armor accentuated her curvaceous figure. Yugu stared at Yu Qingru without blinking, his eyes full of infatuation. Unfortunately, his affection was unrequited. Yu Qingru didn't like him at all, no matter how much affection he showed. Su Qingyang saw Yu Qingru approaching and tactfully left, giving Lin Moyu a knowing look before leaving. Yu Qingru walked straight to Lin Moyu.
Come with me.
The two left the crowd again, walking to a distant place. This scene made Yu Ji's eyes blaze with anger, his chest heaving violently. Yu Qingru said helplessly,
I originally didn't want to fight, but I have no choice. The elders in the clan ordered me to. No wonder you changed into light armor. I remember the first time I saw you, you were also wearing light armor.
Lin Moyu said, looking at Yu Qingru with admiration. Yu Qingru didn't mind Lin Moyu's gaze.
What do you think?
Lin Moyu smiled.
I also received orders.
The two smiled at each other, understanding each other's thoughts. Yu Qingru said,
All right then, let's have a fight. I'm actually curious about your strength.
Lin Moyu smiled.
I'm also curious to see how powerful spatial laws are.
They no longer paid attention to the subsequent sparring matches. Whether it was the true God realm or the God King realm, their sparring was just that, sparring. Only the sparring among the minor gods had deeper implications. In Lin Moyu's mind, it was as if the saints of the two races had agreed on a bet. The saints wouldn't participate, leaving the outcome of the bet to the younger generation. The continent had unknowingly stopped in the starry sky. After seeing several wonders, only the sparring remained. When the last sparring match in the God King realm ended, a voice suddenly rang out.
Lin Moyu, come and fight.
The voice was slightly low, seemingly suppressing some anger.
Ye formali halened Lin Moyu.
The gods watching in the sky were somewhat puzzled. The gods of the starry sky fishmen understood why.
Yuga is probably jealous. These past few days, Lin Moyu has been with Princess Ro. It seems they have a good relationship. This is good. Yuga won't hold back, and we can see Lin Moyu's true strength.
1833. Chapter 1833. Perhaps he is the strongest of the current age. Often, the beginning of great events starts with some trivial matters. For example, now, the result of the sparring between junior divine lords could influence the decisions of the holy lords. The two stood in mid-air. A battle between junior divine lords would have an extremely large impact. It wouldn't be surprising if this continent was shattered. The divine lords had already taken action to stabilize the continent, activating multiple arrays to firmly protect it. Lin Moyu looked at Yugu.
Originally, I didn't want to fight you.
Ye snered.
It's too late to regret now. I won't show mercy.
Lin Moyu shook his head.
You misunderstood my meaning. What I meant was, I originally wanted to challenge all of you junior divine lords at once. It's too troublesome to fight you one by one.
As soon as Lin Moyu said this, it immediately caused an uproar. The junior divine lords of the Star Ocean Fish people changed color.
Arrogant. Who is this person? How can he be so conceited? I know Yuji's strength. Although not as good as Princess Ro, he ranks highly within our clan. This guy is too arrogant. He means to fight 10 of us at once, including Princess Ro. I'd like to see what this guy is capable of. Don't end up being badly injured by Yuga. That would be too embarrassing. I heard this Lin Moyu is the strongest genius among the younger generation of humans. Perhaps his strength is truly extraordinary.
Compared to the Star Ocean Fish people's displeasure, the reactions on the human side were also varied. They also didn't expect Lin Moyu to say such words. 1 against 10, all being junior divine lords. Even if there were differences in strength, it couldn't be that large. The Star Ocean Fish People were not a weak race. At the same level, who would dare claim certain victory? Even those who originally had blind faith in Lin Moyu now began to doubt. Yu Qingrou's face was expressionless. At this moment, she had regained her cold demeanor, her gaze showing neither joy nor sorrow. In the sky above, Yu Gu laughed angrily. He felt greatly disrespected.
Don't you think your words are ridiculous?
Lin Moyu extended his hand and beckoned.
Let's begin. Don't waste time. Fine, I want to see what strength you have to dare say such words.
Yu Gu roared, and a trident appeared in his hand. The trident emitted a blue light, and in an instant, the sky behind Yu Gu turned azure. The oceans on the ground rose as a whole, surging into the sky in an overwhelming manner. As a junior divine lord with 100% mastery of water laws, he instantly controlled all the oceans of the continent. Yu Ji's aura grew increasingly strong. Behind him was the azure ocean. The trident was one of the favorite weapons of the fish people. The one in Yu Ji's hand had reached the high-grade divine king level, also considered an top-grade treasure. After a second of preparation, Yu Gu let out a light shout and thrust the trident forward. Rolling waves came crushing towards Lin Moyu. In the sky, there were terrifying waves, transforming into countless human shadows. Huge sea beasts bared their fangs and brandished their claws, wanting to tear Lin Moyu to pieces. The waves were not just waves, but also contained powerful water laws. This was the truly terrifying power. The waves were just the surface. Faced with the overwhelming waves, Lin Moyu made no big movements. He neither dodged nor evaded, but lightly threw out a punch. A golden light flashed on his fist, but under the azure water light, this glimmer of gold seemed so insignificant. Boom! The faint golden light instantly exploded. The huge waves suddenly reversed, and the fierce waves were sent flying back by Lin Moyu's casual punch. Everyone was stunned.
Heavens, how did he do that? What kind of law is this? How can it be so strong? No, I didn't sense any power of laws at all. Then what exactly was it?
In the distance, several divine lords all widened their eyes, looking at this scene in disbelief.
Physical strength. This is pure physical strength. Divine King Golden Body, one punch breaks all laws.
The divine lords' mouths hung open, unable to close for a long time. With their vast knowledge and experience, they immediately recognized that what Lin Moyu used was purely physical strength. It was precisely because they understood that they were so shocked. If Lin Moyu had used some powerful technique or astonishing law, even if it was a first-tier law, they wouldn't have lost their composure like this. No matter how difficult first-tier laws were, there would always be someone who could comprehend them. The Star Ocean Fish People could master space laws, and it would be normal for a few geniuses among the powerful human race to master first-tier laws. But what Lin Moyu displayed was pure physical strength, and it was incredibly powerful. That was a path that no one could walk anymore. No race followed the path of physical cultivation, but Lin Moyu had chosen it, and he had gone very far.
If he becomes a divine lord and reaches the other shore, he would be invincible at the same level. Who could contend with him? Once he becomes a holy lord, perhaps he would be the strongest of the current age.
The divine lords of the Star Ocean Fish People had extremely complex looks in their eyes. But in the eyes of the human divine lords, excitement arose. They were incredibly excited. This was a genius, a true genius, a genius capable of suppressing an entire era. On the battlefield, Yu Gu was stunned. His attack had been casually neutralized by Lin Moyu. He couldn't understand the method Lin Moyu used, but he could clearly feel that his face was being slapped repeatedly. This punch from Lin Moyu had truly humiliated him. Yu Gu was burning with anger. A gem on the trident suddenly burst with light. The space at the tip of the trident was invisibly torn, and terrifying spatial rifts appeared. If it were natural spatial rifts, the damage to junior divine lords would be limited. But if someone controlled the spatial rifts, forming various powerful attacks, even junior divine lords couldn't withstand the damage. Seeing Yu Ji's actions, the crowd below was shocked.
Yuga has used the space gem. The spatial power in the space gem, combined with his water laws, will increase the power manifold. But this could easily seriously injure someone. Isn't it too much? Yuga should know his limits. Don't forget he has royal bloodline. Although he hasn't awakened spatial power, he still has some control over it.
Yu Qingru wasn't worried about Lin Moyu at all. Although she didn't know Lin Moyu's true strength, how could someone who could top the must-kill lists of various races be simple? Her beautiful eyes flickered as Yu Qingru said,
You should prepare to save someone. Don't worry, princess. Yuga should know his limits.
A nearby junior divine lord immediately said. Yu Qingru shook her head.
Not to save Lin Moyu, but to save Yuga.
Huh? In the sky, Yugu shouted angrily and thrust out the trident. Space was instantly shattered, and the trident pierced into the broken space. The space behind Lin Moyu simultaneously shattered, and the trident silently stabbed out from behind. The trident moved very fast, like lightning, and was silent. But Lin Moyu moved even faster. At the moment the trident approached, he sidestepped to avoid it while reaching out to grasp the tip of the trident. The sharp trident created sparks on Lin Moyu's hand, making a grating sound. The spatial rifts cut at Lin Moyu's palm like blades, but the white palm remained unharmed.
How is this possible?
Yugu was stunned again. Ignoring the spatial rifts, ignoring the sharpness of the trident, what was happening before his eyes completely surpassed his understanding.
Too weak.
Lin Moyu then pulled, and a terrifyingly powerful force erupted. Yugu was still holding the trident at this time, and he was uncontrollably pulled into the shattered space in front of him. 1834. Chapter 1834. He is actually listening to music. Yugo only reacted when he entered the spatial rift, and his handsome face immediately showed fear. But it was too late. He was completely out of control as he rushed into the spatial rift and then quickly emerged from the other end. No one knew what he experienced in that instant. His entire armor was shattered, as if it had been cut by countless sharp blades. Fortunately, he was a junior divine lord, strong enough that the spatial turbulence did not take his life. Although he looked rather disheveled, he was actually unharmed. The spatial rift couldn't take his life, but Lin Moyu in front of him was another story. Before Yugo could react, a fist was already coming at him. The fist was as fast as lightning, so fast that Yugo could hardly react. The punch landed on Yu Ji's abdomen. With a loud bang, Yugo was sent flying, crashing into the sky's array like a meteor. The entire continent rumbled, but fortunately, the array was strong enough. Yugo fell from the sky, plummeting like a meteor.
Save him!
Yu Qingru gave a light shout, and several junior divine lords who had been prepared immediately flew out to catch Yugo. After a thorough check, they found that Yugo had only fainted and was not injured, which made them breathe a sigh of relief. At the same time, they were shocked. Lin Moyu's power was not only strong but also incredibly controlled. As fellow junior divine lords, Lin Moyu had broken Yu Ji's spell with one punch and knocked him out with another. They secretly compared themselves and found that they wouldn't fare much better. Their strength was on par with Yu Ji's, and except for Yu Qingru, no one dared to say they could definitely defeat Yugo. This showed that Lin Moyu was stronger than all of them. Lin Moyu looked down from above.
You all come at me together.
This sentence seemed to belittle the Star Ocean Fish People, but for some reason it felt natural. The Star Ocean Fish People had 10 junior divine lords. Excluding the unconscious Yugu, there were 9 left. Yu Qingru glanced at Lin Moyu, her beautiful eyes flickering.
You 8 go together.
She was a princess and possibly the next clan leader, holding great authority within the clan. Not to mention these junior divine lords, even the divine lords in the sky had to listen to her. Yu Qingru's status in the clan was on par with several elders. Now that the elders were not present, Her words were essentially orders.
Yes.
The 8 responded simultaneously, rising into the sky and surrounding Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu smiled, clasping his fists.
Senior brothers, don't be polite, just attack.
The 8 knew Lin Moyu's prowess and did not dare to underestimate him or hold back. They attacked simultaneously, and in an instant, laws surged, the ocean rose, and lightning flashed and thundered. Among the 8, 6 controlled water laws, and the other 2 controlled lightning laws. Water laws were a general term and could be subdivided, but they all had the same essence with no significant differences. Lightning laws were also commonly mastered by the Star Ocean Fish People. Moreover, their lightning laws were infused with water properties, a type of lightning which was not as masculine but more deadly. Especially when combined, their power would multiply. The ocean rose, transforming into a massive water sphere, surrounding Lin Moyu. Lightning fell, and in an instant, the ocean was filled with electric snakes, turning into a true sea of lightning.
Interesting. I wonder how powerful it is.
Lin Moyu's eyes showed a hint of interest. He had seen many seas of lightning, but this was the first time he had seen one like this. The junior divine lords simultaneously drew their weapons, all tridents. The tridents pointed at Lin Moyu.
Lightning sea ice storm.
In an instant, countless ice arrows shot out from the ocean, like a storm, towards Lin Moyu. The ice arrows carried rolling lightning, and the rumbling sound shook the entire continent. The people on the ground turned pale. The power of this attack was immense, and they realized they couldn't withstand it if they were in Lin Moyu's place. The ice arrows came from all directions, leaving Lin Moyu no room to dodge. In fact, Lin Moyu had no intention of dodging. He stood still, letting the ice arrows hit him. Lin Moyu's body glowed with a golden light, not blinding but naturally noble. At this moment, he was like the scorching sun, becoming the focus of everyone's attention. The ice arrows melted instantly under the golden light. The lightning on them also collapsed in an instant. The 8 junior divine lords of the Star Ocean Fish People were shocked and increased their power. The ice arrows became more violent, but they still couldn't touch Lin Moyu. The golden light became an impenetrable barrier, impossible to break through. The people on the ground were in an uproar.
What kind of spell is this? Such a strong spell, but I can't feel any law aura. Is it a law I've never seen before? Could a new law have appeared? Is it possible that this isn't a law at all?
In the distant sky, the divine lords stared wide-eyed at the scene. The Star Ocean Fish People's divine lords were incredulous.
Divine King Golden Body perfected. It's the Divine King Golden Body perfected. The legendary physical body has been refined. All the geniuses of this generation will bow at his feet. The human race is going to have another war god. No wonder all races want to kill him. How can such a person not be killed? It's too late. It's too late to kill him now. The Divine King Golden Body is perfected. If he advances further, only those at the other shore realm can kill him. We have indeed been isolated for too long.
The divine lords marveled, their eyes filled with envy. If only Lin Moyu were a member of the Star Ocean Fish People, how wonderful that would be. Facing the full-force attack of 8 junior divine lords, Lin Moyu merely stood there, blocking all attacks, leaving them helpless. Lin Moyu's strength was despairing, naturally placing him in an invincible position. Lin Moyu smiled.
If you have no other spells, then I will make my move.
At this moment, Yu Qingrou's voice came.
Use the Song of the Fish People. Yes.
The 8 responded simultaneously, and their tridents glowed blue. A song suddenly rang out, and a fish person appeared above the ocean. The fish person was 1,000 meters tall, shrouded in a thin mist, with a human upper body and a fish lower body. As soon as she appeared, a song echoed through the heavens and earth, making everyone's soul tremble. Someone was horrified.
A soul attack spell. I didn't expect the Star Ocean Fish People to have such a spell. Law attacks are ineffective, so they switched to soul attacks. It's a good strategy.
Lin Moyu looked at the fish person in the sky with interest.
Interesting.
A junior divine lord said,
Brother Lin, our control over the song of the fish people is still lacking. If it causes you harm, please forgive us. If you can't hold on, please surrender immediately, and we will stop.
Lin Moyu smiled.
It's okay, go ahead.
The 8 exerted their power simultaneously, their souls seemingly connected, unleashing tremendous power. The fish person began to sing, and a powerful soul attack swept out. The people on the ground turned pale. Although the soul attack was not aimed at them, it still terrified them. Especially the young ones in the super god realm, their souls were too weak to withstand it. In just a few seconds, they felt their souls were about to collapse. Yuqingru waved her hand, forming an invisible barrier. The barrier formed by spatial laws firmly blocked all soul attacks. If they felt this way, one could imagine the pressure Lin Moyu was under as the target of the attack. Looking at Lin Moyu again, he had his eyes closed and a smile on his face. It looked like he was listening to music. Chapter 1835. 1835. Chapter 1835. I want to see the limits of the physical body. Lin Moyu closed his eyes, seemingly appreciating the song. For others, the deadly soul attack felt like a gentle breeze to him. His soul quality was too high, completely ignoring the mere soul attack.
This is impossible.
The 8 junior divine lords changed expressions simultaneously. They couldn't believe that not only were law attacks ineffective, but even soul attacks would be useless. This was their trump card, not easily used. They desperately channeled their soul power, and the song became urgent, filled with killing intent. The divine lords in the distance also frowned.
Lin Moyu's soul is actually this strong. Perhaps his soul has reached the 4th grade, so he can ignore soul attacks. It must be so. Divine King Golden Body perfected, 4th grade soul, truly enviable.
The human divine lords smiled without speaking. Those who could come here were all core figures of their respective families, and they knew some inside information. As far as they knew, Lin Moyu's soul was not simply 4th grade. Lin Moyu listened to the song and suddenly frowned.
He's reacting. He's showing a reaction.
The 8 junior divine lords saw Lin Moyu frown and thought he was feeling the power of the soul attack. Lin Moyu slowly opened his eyes.
The song is off-key, not as pleasant as before.
A small, exquisite soul-shooting bow appeared above his head, and then the bowstring was pulled back, forming a purple arrow. The arrow shot out with a whoosh, appearing on the fish person in the next instant. The fish person exploded, and the 8 junior divine lords grunted simultaneously as their combined spell shattered instantly. The 8 looked pale. Lin Moyu's arrow had shattered their combined souls. However, Lin Moyu had shown mercy and didn't injure them. Lin Moyu asked softly,
Do you want to continue?
The 8 looked at each other, realizing they couldn't fight at all. The difference in strength was too great. They felt that facing Lin Moyu was more terrifying than facing a divine lord. Invincible physical defense, soul strength beyond imagination, simply invulnerable. The 8 exchanged glances and made a decision.
Thank you, Brother Lin, for showing mercy. We admit defeat. Brother Lin's strength is too great. We are no match.
They admitted defeat gracefully. There was no point in persisting when they clearly couldn't win. The 8 returned to Yu Qingrou's side with some weakness, hanging their heads, feeling unable to lift them. Yu Qingrou said,
It's all right. It's not that you're lacking. He's just too strong. Years ago, when he was still in the true god realm, he dared to challenge divine lords. Now that he's a junior divine lord, he could probably kill divine lords easily. Your loss is not unjustified. It's our fault for being isolated from the world for too many years, knowing too little about the outside situation.
She raised her head to look at Lin Moyu.
Have you killed any divine lords?
She asked straightforwardly, and Lin Moyu smiled casually.
I have. How many? I didn't count, about 100 or so.
This answer stunned everyone on the spot. For a junior Divine Lord, forget about killing Divine Lords, even being able to fight one to a draw would be considered impressive, enough to be called a genius. If one could kill a Divine Lord while at a lower level, that would be a top-tier genius, with only a few in each race capable of doing so. But Lin Moyu's answer was that he had killed about 100. Is he even human? Everyone wanted to ask, are you really a junior Divine Lord? You're not a Divine Lord pretending, are you? However, they all felt that what Lin Moyu said was not boasting, but the truth. It was not without reason that various races had put him at the top of their must-kill lists. Lin Moyu smiled.
Princess Ro, do you still want to fight?
Yuqing slowly rose into the air.
Although I can't beat you, I still want to try.
Lin Moyu gestured.
Then please, Princess, make your move. No need to hold back.
Yuqing's eyes instantly became sharp. The space around her automatically shattered, and a mysterious law aura echoed in the heavens and earth. Space laws, even among first-tier laws, ranked near the top. Yuqing was born with mastery of space laws, and after years of cultivation, her control over space laws was even more effortless. Lin Moyu had also encountered space laws before, but his use was simple and crude, without any aesthetic appeal. Unlike Yuqing, space laws flowed around her. Where the laws passed, space rippled in layers, either shattering or bending, all changing according to her will. Lin Moyu looked at Yuqing with admiration.
Your laws are stronger than before.
Yuqing said softly.
Your strength is also greater than before.
As she spoke, silver light flashed, and a silver long sword appeared in her hand. At the same time, a jade box appeared beside her, from which a small sword flew out, spinning and flying around her. The two swords, one large and one small, echoed each other, constantly resonating.
I'm going to attack.
Yuqing warned, pointing her long sword at Lin Moyu. The small sword flew out like lightning, instantly disappearing. The space beside Lin Moyu silently shattered, and the small sword instantly shot out from the broken space, stabbing towards Lin Moyu's head. Lin Moyu slightly tilted his head to avoid the small sword, while reaching out to grab it. At this moment, the space around the small sword shattered again, and the small sword vanished without a trace. Lin Moyu grasped empty air. Yuqing appeared in front of Lin Moyu as if teleporting, swinging her long sword. Large areas of space collapsed, countless space fragments turned into blades, enveloping Lin Moyu. Golden light burst forth, the Divine King golden body automatically triggered, blocking all the space fragments. The space fragments hit the golden light, making metallic collision sounds, and the entire space shook. Layers upon layers of waves surged out in the space, causing a large area of the starry sky to vibrate. The spectators all grunted, feeling as if their bodies were about to be torn apart, and their souls were being pulled. A divine lord of the Star Ocean fish people immediately took action, throwing out a pearl-like treasure. The treasure came in front of everyone, emitting a soft light that blocked the distorted space. Everyone was shocked, realizing that even the aftershocks were beyond their ability to withstand. They gained a further understanding of Yuqing's strength. Space laws were indeed terrifyingly powerful. Lin Moyu stood in the chaotic space flow, throwing a punch at Yuqing. His fist was like lightning, but Yuqing was faster. She manipulated space laws, appearing and disappearing unpredictably. Lin Moyu couldn't touch her at all. Because of the extreme speed, many Yuqingris appeared in the sky. Numerous afterimages confused the eye. Yuqing's attacks were incredibly sharp, striking Lin Moyu densely. But Lin Moyu's defense was too strong. Yuqing's space laws couldn't harm Lin Moyu at all. Lin Moyu stood firm, relying solely on his Divine King golden body to remain undefeated. However, he seemed unable to do anything to Yuqing either. No matter how many punches he threw, he couldn't hit Yuqing. Yuqing's voice sounded in Lin Moyu's ear.
Why aren't you fighting back?
She was very clear about Lin Moyu's strength. Currently, Lin Moyu wasn't using his true power at all. Could be said that Lin Moyu was just playing with her. Lin Moyu smiled and said,
I want to see where the limits of the physical body are.
Yuqingru was immediately at a loss for words. Lin Moyu actually wanted to use her to test the limits of his physical body.
Then let you try.
Yuqingru gritted her teeth, and her sword stance suddenly changed. The starry sky shattered. Countless space forces surged forth, forming a 1,000-meter-long giant sword. The giant sword was semi-transparent, like crystal, reflecting the light of the starry sky. The giant sword slashed towards Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu's body tensed as the space around him was locked, leaving him nowhere to escape. Looking at the giant sword falling on his head, Lin Moyu met it with a punch. Boom! The giant sword shattered like fireworks exploding, also shattering the space.
Deep banishment.
Yuqingru shouted, and the already shattered space collapsed again, revealing the deep space. In the next second, Yuqingru appeared beside Lin Moyu. With a wave of her jade hand, both of them disappeared without a trace. 1836.